Good morning, theedies and gentleons. I watch a lot of TV where I want to complain about it incessantly while I am watching it, but like it's still enjoyable. I've been watching a lot of Thai BL dramas lately, and because of this I have an almost endless list of critiques and opinions, and I thought it would be fun to share with y'all because I always like to hear what critical things people have to say about stuff that I loved. That said, if I insult something you like, please don't take it personal. I'm really just out here sharing my opinions. I honestly haven't watched that many dramas, and I only talked about the ones I thought I had something to say about, so if I didn't include something, that's why. Anyway, great work team, onto the video. Thun type. The thing about this show is that it is at its core a relationship between the dumbest man alive, type, and the horniest man alive, Thun. Sometimes this makes for amusing comedy potential, and it definitely makes for interesting television, but like more in a way where I want to punch a hole in my computer screen from frustration kind of way. I spent so much time screaming at my computer while watching this show, and I'm not gonna get out here and pretend like I didn't enjoy parts of it, because I totally did. But to be perfectly honest, as a gay person, it made me real uncomfortable, and I could never consider recommending a show in which one half of the relationship committed literal hate crimes against the other half. Like, they got to this scene and I quite literally lost my damn mind. Obviously, if you're gay and you have a different opinion, that's fine or whatever, but like, the relationship dynamics in that show are messed up beyond belief. Between the homophobia and the consent issues, it was basically just an unending parade of relationship red flags. Having watched more dramas since, I'm low-key convinced you'll just like it because it has a lot of sex and making out. Anyway, I know I came down really hard on this show, but like, obviously I liked it enough to watch the whole thing. So here I am wearing my full-on clown makeup, wig and shoes, and sitting here lecturing you about the dangers of becoming a clown. Feel free to mock me for it, is all I'm saying. Until we meet again. The worst part of this show was that so much of it was super boring, like I didn't even have any real objections about any part of it, but by the last 3 episodes I was half reading the subtitles while scrolling Twitter because I couldn't even muster up the energy to care where this was going. It was good, but once they got through most of the plot I just got tired of watching Korn go pedine in a scandalized tone of voice every time he breathed. Usually that's the time to sit back and bask in the endless montage of cute relationship things, but Korn was always so scandalized by the whole thing it made it kind of hard to enjoy. Maybe that's hypocritical because I know that's kind of common in other BL relationships, but it really stood out to me the most in this one. Also, the part where Dean used his status as club president to take Farm on the swimming club field trip had me absolutely dying from second-hand embarrassment. I'm just saying, if I had been in that club I would have been majorly uncomfortable with the setup of that whole situation. Why couldn't they have just taken a trip on their own and spared me the embarrassment? Even when they were supposed to be doing cute stuff, I was just feeling sorry for all the other people on the trip who had to involuntarily participate in their honeymoon. Anyway, all the couples in this show were adorable, and I would have literally gone feral from joy if Win Team had had more screen time because they were great, but such is life. Love by chance. I'm gonna be real with y'all, I heard that this was good and y'all talk about it constantly, but I read all the reviews that were like, it's good as long as you can get past the S*E*UAL a double asterisk alt, and I have been on this planet long enough to know what is good for me, so I simply did not bother. If any of you want to try and convince me to watch this show, please feel free. Together. If Thun type is about the dumbest man alive and the horniest man alive, this show is just about the 2 dumbest men in the world. I actually love this show despite the fact that it has the nasty trope of making the feminine gay man the butt of the joke while raising up the 2 more hetero-friendly gay men, but even that kinda got fixed later on. I guess this show had the problem that I have with so many of these shows where the relationship benchmarks are just unbelievably out of order. You're telling me that Tyne agrees to move into a 1-bedroom apartment with Wart but then acts scandalized when Wart wants to kiss him on the cheek? You're telling me that Tyne didn't think the game was up the second his brother walked into the 1-bedroom apartment that Tyne shares with another man who made many ominous references about them being more than friends in the very first conversation they ever have? I truly don't care if this is fixed or explained in the novel because it is not explained well here, and it mostly just creates emotional whiplash where you think you're finally settling into the relationship only to have one of them act like every single thing that happens, even if it's the natural next step in a relationship that they are supposedly enthusiastically participating in, is a complete shock. Kinda the same problem I had with Until We Meet Again actually. In summation, I love this show, but it is dumb as hell. Every single character in the whole show has one brain cell and they all just slide it back and forth like a 40-way game of air hockey, and the person speaking is never the one with the brain cell. Sotus s. To be perfectly honest, I really think this show Stockholm syndromed me into liking it. I watched the first 9 episodes and legit almost gave up because I was so bored and nothing was happening, and I truly did not care about the hazing or the SOTA system or literally any of that. Actually, that was the other problem. The show spent so damn long litigating the SOTA system within the show, and as somebody who is not Thai and has no knowledge of that system beyond being vaguely opposed to American Greek life as a concept, I was not really interested in either of the arguments or the outcome. But I thought the romance had some potential, and so I stayed, and then once the hazing stuff ended I was absolutely hooked. The worst part of this show is also somehow by far the best part of the show, and I will explain. Most romance skips over or ignores a lot of plot stuff in order to create more time for the main couple to be together, which usually I like because obviously I am watching this show to hear about the main couple and not because I'm dying to know how materials are sourced for smokeless electric grillers. On the other hand, it does sometimes then make it feel like the romance is a little rushed or unearned. So I like the emphasis this show places on the non-romance parts of their lives, but at the same time it's boring and I hate it. Simple. Oh, the other thing was that the part where Durian takes the photo and puts it on the Facebook page and then after it gets up in front of the whole company to confirm that they were dating was interesting and spicy, but I literally could not stop thinking about what an absolute HR nightmare that would be in real life, and it made me so uncomfortable I had to stop watching and lay down in the middle of the floor for several minutes to hype myself up enough to continue. Other than that, it was great though. Anyway, that's all the shows that I've seen that I have anything to say about. If you have other shows I should watch, please let me know because I am always on the hunt for quality television.